Okay, take 3. What is the most important thing you've learned? Why do you think this is? Political influence on the economy. I chose to do a lot of the issues surrounding the austerity paper that we wrote about Rogoff, whether or not austerity is beneficial for the economy in times of crisis or economic crisis. And we concluded that no, austerity is not beneficial for economies in times of economic crisis because of the fact that people aren't out spending money. The government is not investing in industries as much that need it, and therefore the economy gets worse and it suffers more. So what I learned was that politicians use rhetoric sometimes. Well, I mean, I already knew that, but I learned that in particular the economic panic in 2012, a lot of that was based on a faulty premise from the fancy pants Harvard economic study that we talked about in class, and that oftentimes politicians will create panic in order, well, in particular, I think that in 2012, the Republican Party, in order to defeat President Obama, who had overwhelming support and a lot of charisma, needed something really big to attempt to get somebody else in the White House. Therefore, they framed this argument and this fear that the Democrats were overspending and recklessly spending, that they weren't going to stop, and that if we didn't get a Republican in that White House to put a break on that thing, that we were going to wind up just like Europe in a deep recession, and it would be even worse than before. And so I learned how economic discourse is manipulated and how I can't believe everything I hear, which is exactly what you wanted us to learn at the beginning of the year. So that's really good. Why? The principle, it kind of made me question the motivation a little bit more. I think I have the tools now to better interpret where a politician might be coming from in terms of economic rhetoric specifically, because I think I was already alright at questioning other sorts of issues, but before this class I really didn't have any idea what was what in the economy, so now I have some basis at least. The implications, politicians are willing to cause significant panic for votes. It sort of reminds me of the swine flu, how that never really panned out either. If you could make one reform to the U.S. economy, what would it be and why? Based on the information that I just gave, I said that I would increase government investment in society, particularly in making education free or decrease in costs. And I know that the government already spends a lot on Medicare, such as, well, Medicare Part D, that increased the budget a lot, and that welfare spending is important, but a pretty insignificant part of our budget, and that military spending is a huge part of the budget, and Social Security. Therefore, I propose, in order to be able to invest in the poor population in the United States to be able to get a higher education when they otherwise wouldn't be able to, military spending should definitely be cut back on, since we're trying to pull out of those wars, and also Social Security age should be pushed back 1 year, which would not cause very much voter panic, I don't think, especially with the Tea Party movement, where people, like individual citizens, or really not individuals, groups, were even really advocating that Social Security age be increased. Not that people should be receiving Social Security right before they die and not get any retirement, but I think 1 year would be good. And definitely the military spending.